Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you the truth, not the soft, sugar-coated fantasy they feed you to keep you quiet. Getting rich is easy, but only if you're ready to stop lying to yourself. You don't need luck. You don't need permission, you need clarity, you need precision, and you need a ruthless commitment to execution. First, let's destroy the biggest myth that wealth is complicated. It isn't, it's a formula. Value in, value out, solve a problem, serve the market, and demand your worth. You think rich people got there by accident. They saw what others were too blind to see and moved before the rest woke up. Second, your time is your most valuable currency, but most of you trade it for pennies. You scroll, you wait, you talk. Wealth doesn't wait, it acts. Rich people don't ask, "Can I do it?" They ask, "How fast can I dominate?" Third, fear is your jailer. Fear of failure, fear of looking stupid, fear of leaving comfort. Comfort is a coffin with pillows. You'll never build an empire while clinging to your excuses. You want ease, stay broke. You want freedom. Earn it. Fourth, control your environment. Your circle is either sharpening you or softening you. You cannot fly surrounded by pigeons. You need wolves, killers, visionaries, people who make you uncomfortable with their ambition. That's your mirror. So yes, getting rich is easy, but it's only easy for the disciplined, the obsessed, the ones who move while others sleep and speak when others hesitate. Wealth is a formula, not a mystery. That idea alone flips the script on what most people have been taught their entire lives. From childhood, society conditions us to think of wealth as this elusive, almost magical phenomenon that only a select few ever get to experience. Rich people are seen as lucky or chosen, as if they stumbled upon some secret or inherited some unspoken privilege that the rest of the world just can't access. But this mindset is nothing more than a self-imposed cage, a comfortable excuse to avoid taking real responsibility. The truth is simpler and far more uncomfortable. Wealth follows rules, and anyone willing to learn those rules, apply them with discipline, and avoid distraction can win the game. Money is a reflection of value, that's the foundation. If you provide significant value to a large number of people, money will chase you. It's not about having a groundbreaking idea. It's about having the grit and consistency to solve a problem better, faster, or more uniquely than someone else. It's about being useful. If you're not getting rich, it's not because you aren't smart or capable, it's because you're not being useful enough to the right people at the right scale. Period. Most people think money comes from hard work. That's half true. A man digging ditches all day is working hard, but he's not getting rich. Why? Because his labor isn't scaled. He's selling time, and time is finite. The formula doesn't reward effort alone, it rewards leveraged impact. If you can take your skill or knowledge and package it in a way that can reach thousands, millions, then you're playing the right game. Whether it's a product, a service, content, code, consulting, real estate, or capital, all roads lead to leverage. Learn how to multiply your effort through systems, automation, or people, and you're no longer trading time for money. You're building machines that make money while you sleep. But here's the catch. The formula is only easy to understand. It's not easy to follow. Why? Because most people are addicted to comfort. They want the money, but they don't want the risk. They want the lifestyle, but they don't want the discipline. They want the results, but not the sacrifice. And the formula has no room for that. It requires you to be uncomfortable consistently. It asks you to invest when you're scared, to work when you're tired, to keep going when nothing seems to be working. It demands brutal self-honesty, and that's why most people never even take the first step. They'll read 100 books, watch 1,000 videos, scroll through motivation for hours, but they won't execute. Information is everywhere. You can learn how to start a business, trade, build an audience, write code, design products, all from your phone right now. Knowledge is no longer the barrier. Action is. Relentless action. Execution beats theory every time. That's part of the formula. People who get rich aren't the ones with perfect plans. They're the ones who start fast, learn on the move, and adapt like assassins. They fail forward. They pivot, adjust, iterate, while the rest are still planning, doubting, and waiting for the right time. The rich are already miles ahead. Another brutal truth: getting rich requires obsession. Not balance, not moderation, obsession. You have to want it more than comfort, more than fitting in, more than sleep, more than entertainment. That kind of fire scares people, and it should, because obsession separates the lions from the sheep. The average person looks at obsession as unhealthy, as too much, but the wealthy see it as fuel. You don't accidentally build empires, you build them brick by brick, fueled by hunger that never stops burning. You also need to understand this: money flows toward clarity. If you're vague about your goals, vague about your offer, vague about your audience, the money will avoid you. Wealth requires precise thinking. Clear targets, tactical plans, ruthless focus. You must know exactly what you want, who you serve, and how you serve them better than anyone else. Confusion is the enemy of wealth. Precision builds it. And let's not forget discipline. Everyone loves to talk about motivation, but motivation is temporary. It fades. Discipline, on the other hand, is cold, consistent, and reliable. Discipline is showing up when you don't feel like it. Discipline is doing the work when no one's watching, when no one's clapping, when the results haven't shown up yet. Discipline is sticking to the formula even when your emotions tell you to quit, and that's what wealth rewards: not bursts of energy, but long-term consistency. The wealthy also understand that money is a tool, not a trophy. Poor people spend money to look rich. Rich people use money to buy back time, build leverage, and create freedom. The poor get a paycheck and think, how do I spend this? The rich get money and think, how do I multiply this? That mental shift alone separates the wealthy from the rest. You don't get rich by increasing your spending. You get rich by increasing your assets, by owning things that generate more cash without more work. Even your beliefs matter. If deep down you believe that money is evil, or that rich people are corrupt, or that success will make you lonely, your subconscious will sabotage you. You'll never rise above your internal thermostat. The wealthy cultivate a mindset of abundance, of control, of creation. They don't see wealth as stealing from someone else. They see it as the natural result of service, of impact, of value delivered at scale. In the end, the formula is available to everyone, but followed by few. It's simple: solve problems, add value, leverage your time, execute with discipline, reinvest, stay obsessed, eliminate distractions. Repeat, that's it. It doesn't care about your background, your race, your history, your excuses. The formula doesn't discriminate, it just responds to input. So if you're not rich yet, don't look for a mystery. Don't pray for a secret. Don't waste time envying the winners. Look in the mirror. Ask yourself if you're truly applying the formula or just admiring it from afar. Then decide what kind of life you want. Because wealth isn't hiding from you. It's waiting for you to finally step up and take it. Time is sacred. It is the only resource you cannot earn back, cannot create, cannot borrow. Every second that passes is a second gone forever, never to return. And yet, most people treat time like it's worthless. They throw it away on meaningless distractions, idle conversations, endless scrolling, shallow entertainment, and aimless routines. They act like they have forever, like there's no urgency. But there is. Life is ticking. Every moment wasted is a piece of your future being carved away in silence. You don't see the cost until it's too late, and by then, the bill is paid in regret. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose a job and find another. You can lose relationships and build new ones, but time, once it's gone, it's gone. The wealthy, the successful, the powerful, they all understand this. It's not just about working hard. It's about being brutal with time, precise with its use, and fiercely protective of it. They guard their calendars like fortresses, not because they're antisocial or arrogant, but because they understand what time really is, life itself. Your life is made of time, not years, not decades. Time, minute by minute, hour by hour. How you spend each day is how you live your life. People wait for some grand future. One day I'll get serious. One day I'll start that business. One day I'll change. But there is no one day. There is only today, now, this moment. That's all you ever have, and if you let it slip away with excuses, distractions, and fear, you'll look up in 10 years and wonder where your life went. People who win in life don't just work more, they waste less. They cut the fat, they stop doing things that don't matter, they say no often, they remove low-value people, low-value activities, and low-value habits. They don't let others set their schedule, they don't confuse movement with progress. Being busy is not the same as being productive. You can run in circles all day and end up nowhere. The winners in life understand that time needs direction. You have to point it like a weapon with intent and clarity. Otherwise, you'll just drift, and the world is designed to make you drift. Everything around you is trying to steal your attention: apps, ads, news, gossip, cheap entertainment. It's a war for your focus. Every notification, every dopamine hit, every distraction is costing you your most valuable asset. Most people don't even realize it. They've sold their time for free, willingly chained themselves to the very tools that are robbing them blind. They think it's harmless. It's not. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Seconds become minutes, minutes become hours, and suddenly years are gone, wasted not in tragedy, but in comfort and ignorance. If time is sacred, then every hour must be treated like treasure. You must schedule your day with intention. What are you building? Who are you becoming? What problems are you solving? If you don't know, someone else will decide for you, and their agenda won't serve your future. They'll fill your calendar with their priorities, not yours. That's why most people are tired and unfulfilled, not because they lack energy, but because they've handed over control of their time. Discipline is what protects sacred time. Not just in business, but in life, discipline means you wake up on purpose. You don't hit snooze because you understand that the day is already slipping. Discipline means you don't waste your evenings on mindless content because you've got a bigger vision to serve. Discipline means you don't say yes to everything, because every yes is a no to something else. You have to choose comfort or growth. Most never make that choice. They just float. And what about the people around you? Who respects your time? Who drains it? Look around. Are you surrounded by people who lift you up, challenge you, and sharpen you? Or are you surrounded by people who waste time, complain, and coast through life? The people in your life affect how you use your time more than you think. If you're the most focused person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You need to be around people who make you feel like you're moving too slow, not people who celebrate mediocrity. Time demands structure. Time loves clarity. If your life is chaotic, if you feel overwhelmed, it's not because you have too much to do, it's because you don't have a system. You don't have priorities. You haven't taken control. Time can't be managed, but it can be directed, and the way you direct it determines the life you live. Most people are stuck in reaction mode, answering emails, reacting to problems, running from task to task like a machine. But you were not built to react. You were built to create, to lead, to build, and you can only do that when you carve out sacred, protected blocks of time to think, to plan, to work deeply without distraction. Do you know why some people seem to get 10 times more done in the same 24 hours? It's not magic, it's not talent, it's clarity, focus, and relentless protection of time. They eliminate, they delegate, they automate. They don't try to do everything, they do the right things. While most people burn energy on low-leverage tasks, the high performers put their energy into actions that produce outsized results. They invest their time where it matters, and investing your time wisely isn't just about business, it's about relationships. Are you giving time to your family? Are you really present when you're with people you love? Are you feeding your mind, your body, your soul? Because all of it is connected. You can be a millionaire and still be broke on time, broke on joy, broke on peace. Real wealth isn't just financial, it's time freedom. The ability to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want. That's the goal, but you don't get there by accident. You get there by treating time as sacred from day one. And maybe most importantly, you need to realize that your time is not just yours. It's your legacy. How you spend your time determines the kind of impact you leave behind. What are you building? What are you leaving? What are you showing others is possible? If you waste your time, you're not just stealing from your future self, you're stealing from everyone who could have been inspired, helped, changed, or served by the best version of you. So take a hard look at how you spend your hours. Your days like your life depends on it because it does. Don't settle for being busy. Don't fall into the trap of passive living. Don't let distractions run your mind. Time is not a renewable resource. It's not promised. It's not guaranteed. Every moment counts, and once you see time as sacred, you'll never waste it again. Fear kills progress. It doesn't just delay success. It murders it in silence. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they never start. They talk themselves out of action before they even make the first move. Fear creates doubt, and doubt erodes belief. When belief dies, action dies with it, and without action, nothing happens. No growth, no change, no victory. You stay stuck, not because the opportunity wasn't there, not because you didn't have potential, but because you let fear chain you to comfort. Fear isn't always loud. Sometimes it's subtle. It whispers lies dressed as logic. What if you fail? What will people think? What if you're not good enough? It wraps itself in caution, pretending to protect you, but in reality, it's keeping you small. Fear wants you to shrink. It wants you to play safe, to stay average, to avoid risk, because fear hates the unknown, and all progress lives in the unknown. Every dream you have exists on the other side of fear. Every level you want to reach requires that you walk through discomfort. Success isn't reserved for the fearless. It belongs to those who feel fear and move anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else matters more, that your goals matter more than your doubts, that your future matters more than your pride, that your potential matters more than the opinions of people who don't live your life. Fear thrives in inaction. The more you hesitate, the more fear grows. You think waiting will make things clearer, but fear doesn't fade with time, it feeds on it. It multiplies while you sit in indecision. The only way to destroy fear is through action. Motion suffocates fear. The moment you start moving, making the call, sending the email, posting the idea, building the thing, fear loses its grip. It can't hold on when you're in motion. The reason fear wins for so many is because they think they have time. They think they can wait until they feel ready, but ready is a myth. No one ever feels truly ready. Readiness isn't a feeling, it's a decision. It's the choice to trust yourself, to trust the process, to leap even when the landing isn't guaranteed. You build confidence by doing, not by waiting. You don't become brave first, you act and bravery follows. Fear is also clever. It disguises itself as procrastination, perfectionism, overthinking. It convinces you that you need more information, more time, more validation, but that's a lie. You don't need more. What you need is to start. The answers you seek are found in doing, not in analyzing. Perfectionism is fear in a tuxedo. It looks polished, but it's paralyzing. Progress is messy. Growth is uncomfortable, but both are necessary. And both are blocked by fear when you let it run the show. People fear failure more than they fear regret. That's the tragedy. They'd rather stay in the illusion of safety than risk looking foolish. But failure is temporary. Regret is forever. You can recover from failure. You can learn, adapt, and come back stronger. But you can't recover lost years, missed chances, unlived dreams. You'll never regret falling short if you gave it everything. But you will regret never trying, and what exactly are we afraid of? Embarrassment, judgment, criticism. Those things are real, yes, but they don't kill you, they don't define you, they don't determine your worth. The opinions of others are not the price of your potential. Most people are too busy thinking about themselves to judge you anyway, and those who do criticize, they're not your audience, they're not building anything. Don't take advice or criticism from people who aren't where you want to be. Progress demands sacrifice. It demands that you leave behind who you were to become who you could be, and that shedding of the old self is terrifying for most. It means letting go of identity, relationships, habits, and comfort zones. It means stepping into a space where nothing is guaranteed, where you might fall, where you might fail. But that's where growth lives. That's where change happens. You don't evolve in safety, you evolve in risk. Every time you push through fear, you expand your capacity. You become someone different, stronger, bolder, more capable. Each act of courage rewires your brain, retrains your instincts, and reinforces the truth. That fear is just a signal, not a stop sign. It's your brain telling you that something matters. Use it. Let it sharpen you, not stop you. If you feel fear, good. That means you're pushing into something meaningful. That means you're alive. The world is full of people who had potential, but let fear decide for them. They settled. They compromised. They stayed small, not because they weren't good enough, but because they never gave themselves a real shot. They let fear make their choices, and in doing so, they wrote a story of what could have been instead of what was. You are writing your story right now. Every decision you make, every step you take or don't take is a sentence in that story. Don't let fear be the author. Don't let fear hold the pen. If you want to grow, if you want to lead, if you want to change your life, you have to fight for it. You have to battle fear like it's your enemy, because it is. It's not there to protect you, it's there to paralyze you, and once you start fighting it, once you start acting in spite of it, you'll realize something powerful. Fear isn't as strong as you thought. Most of what you fear will never happen. Most of the worst-case scenarios you imagine are just shadows, scary, looking, but empty, and even if the worst happens, you'll handle it, you'll adapt, you'll survive. You'll grow, you always do. You weren't put on this earth to hide. You weren't built for mediocrity. You weren't meant to live in fear. You were meant to create, to lead, to impact, to expand. But that version of you, the real you, lives on the other side of fear. And you'll never meet them unless you're willing to walk through it. So start before you're ready, speak before you're confident, act before you have it all figured out, because fear kills progress. But only if you let it. You're stronger than your fear, you always were. Your environment dictates your elevation. It's one of the most underestimated truths in life, yet it silently governs who rises and who stays grounded. People often believe success is only about effort, talent, or knowledge, but they forget that your surroundings, your daily inputs, your circle of influence, all either build you or break you. You cannot consistently rise in an environment designed to keep you average. You cannot outgrow the cage you refuse to leave. Look around. The people you talk to, the content you consume, the conversations you participate in, the spaces you spend your time in. They are either lifting you or limiting you. If you're surrounded by people who are lazy, complacent, constantly complaining, and allergic to growth, you will become like them whether you realize it or not. It's not about judgment, it's about gravity. Environments have gravity, they pull you toward their norm. If your environment rewards mediocrity, you will conform to mediocrity. If your environment thrives on excellence, you'll be forced to rise or leave. Elevation requires intentional exposure. If you want to become more, you must be around more ambition, more hunger, more discomfort. You need to normalize discipline, normalize winning, normalize vision and execution. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you deliberately design your environment to reflect your goals instead of your past. Too many people stay stuck because they are trying to evolve in places they've outgrown. The friends are the same, the habits are the same, the thinking is the same, and then they wonder why their life doesn't change. It's because they're planting seeds in toxic soil. Growth can't survive in a space that suffocates it. If you're in a room where no one challenges you, no one sharpens you, no one pushes you to level up, you're in the wrong room. Comfort is dangerous. The people who never question you, never hold you accountable, never make you uncomfortable, they may feel safe, but they're not helping you grow. True allies call you out. They see your potential and won't let you settle. If you don't have people around you who make you feel like you're thinking too small, then you're not in an environment of elevation. You're in an echo chamber of stagnation. And it's not just about people. Your environment includes what you see, hear, and feel every day. Your room, your workspace, your digital feed, your morning routine. Everything around you is either creating clarity or chaos. If your environment is cluttered, noisy, and filled with distractions, how can you expect to perform at a high level? Greatness doesn't thrive in disorder. High performers create high-performance spaces. They protect their mental real estate like it's gold, because it is. Social media, for example, is a massive part of your environment. If your feed is filled with drama, gossip, and distraction, that becomes your mental diet. You consume nonsense, you think nonsense, you live nonsense. But if your feed is filled with visionaries, builders, thinkers, and winners, then that becomes your standard. You're influenced more by what you scroll than you realize. Elevation starts with intention. What are you allowing into your mind? Energy is contagious. Spend enough time around inspired people, and you'll feel the spark. Spend enough time around negative people, and your fire will die. You have to guard your energy like a warrior. That means setting boundaries. That means walking away from comfort zones dressed as friendships. That means leaving the group chats, saying no to the parties, ignoring the noise. Because you know what you're building, and you know what it costs. Most people aren't willing to pay that price, but most people don't get extraordinary results. One of the hardest things you'll ever do is outgrow your environment, not because the leap is hard, but because the emotional ties are strong. It's hard to leave people you love, it's hard to break routine, it's hard to say, I'm going somewhere you can't follow. But that's the truth about elevation. Not everyone can come, some will get it. Most won't. That doesn't make you better, it just makes you different. Your destiny requires a different frequency, and some environments simply can't sustain that. You don't have to hate the past to leave it behind. You just have to love your future more. If your vision is powerful enough, your environment will shift to match it. You'll stop tolerating low-energy people. You'll stop entertaining small talk and start seeking deep conversations. You'll feel it in your gut when something doesn't align. You'll crave environments that stretch you, challenge you, even intimidate you, because you know that's where the growth is. It's like climbing a mountain. The air gets thinner the higher you go. Not everyone can breathe at altitude, and not everyone will make the climb. That's okay. Your job is not to drag people uphill. Your job is to climb, to elevate, to reach the summit of your potential. The right people will rise with you, the rest will watch, and here's the secret most won't tell you. Once you elevate your environment, everything else becomes easier. Discipline becomes automatic. Motivation becomes consistent. Ideas flow, energy increases. When your environment supports your vision, your success becomes the default, not the struggle. You don't have to fight your surroundings anymore. You're not swimming against the current. You've designed the current to carry you where you want to go, so look around, ask yourself, is my environment aligned with the future I'm building? Are the people around me pushing me forward or pulling me back? Is my space optimized for performance or for distraction? Does my daily input reflect my desired output? If the answer is no, change it, upgrade it, elevate it, no apology, no hesitation, because your environment is not a background detail, it's the engine behind your evolution. If you want to go to the next level, stop trying to rise in a place built for surviving. You weren't born to stay grounded. You weren't designed for average, and if your environment doesn't recognize that, it's time to find one that does. You owe it to your future self to create a space that demands your greatness. Because when you surround yourself with excellence, when you breathe it, see it, feel it every day, elevation is no longer a question. It's inevitable.